reverberation mantle of Hungary, and she's crowned as the Queen of Hungary. She's the holy crown of Hungary. This is the most important little coin, not that little, of the Esztergom Cathedral, because as you can see, there is somehow a difference. It's not really a 19th century building. It looks like something older, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
It does look older. In fact, this is a real it's a real Renaissance building. Pure Italian Renaissance architecture. This is the most beautiful Renaissance architecture. M, can you see that? M, five C's, which is 507. This is the date. So it means that in 1507, this chapel was ready, was built until at least this level. We can say that it is. It has 3 different levels, you see, and it is quite tall. It's 2.5 times taller than it is larger. And in fact, this chapel, this is called, we call it the Bacócz Chapel, because the Cardinal Bacócz, we have his name written over there, Bacócz, Thomas Bacócz, built it, and it was originally the side chapel of the previous cathedral that no longer exists. It was a Gothic cathedral, St. Adalbert Cathedral, but it was completely destroyed. Only this side chapel resisted. And when in the 19th century they started to build this new cathedral, the architect of that time, John Pack, decided to preserve this chapel, and he cut it into 1,600 pieces. And then he rebuilt it as a side chapel of this new cathedral. And this is how we preserve this architecture. In Western Europe, you won't find this kind of the dolphin. For example, in French, dauphin means also prince, heir, you know, and it's like a prince, a symbol of a prince. There's also this shell. This shell is also a Renaissance architecture. And if you take, you see, the same shells, and the evangelists are beheaded. Can you see that? This is what I also wanted to show you. The statues on the main altarpiece are beheaded because the Turks, so it was built before the Turkish occupation, and the Turks used this chapel as a mosque. And in a mosque, the Muslim religion does not allow the human representations. But they didn't dare to behead the Virgin Mary because the Muslims worship the Virgin Mary. Marble, this red marble is realized. So in prehistoric ages there was a sea somewhere here. Can I ask you to come a little bit here in the center? Let's try to find a place to sit here. See everything. This is a good. This can be okay. And you can see that the whole big cathedral was largely inspired, the building of the big cathedral was largely inspired by the old Renaissance building. We also have the same halls. They try to make the same central organization. There are no naves. If you take a look at the covering of the dome, you will see the same decoration, this square and flower decoration is very similar to the Renaissance one. We can also speak about the neo-Renaissance architecture here in the inside of the large cathedral. Under the dome there is also an inscription that says Maria Assumpta est gaudet angeli. This means that Mary was taken to heaven and the angel related to Our Lady of the Assumption. This cathedral has two names. It bears the name of the former cathedral, St. Adalbert Cathedral, and Our Lady of the Assumption. The Assumption is on the 15th of August. You can see that the only source of light is Jesus Christ, the body of Jesus Christ. We have some old elements of the crucifixion, an old cathedral, a Gothic cathedral. Just imagine that they called it St. Adalbert because the most important miracle in the life of St. Adalbert took place here on the top of this hill. It is said that the legend says that there was a wooden idol here, and a demon used to speak out of that idol.
Oh, I see.
A demon. And that demon had, probably you heard, they told you the story of Saint Gellert in Budapest. There is a hill from where Saint Gellert was dropped with the same method. Jó napot kívánok, szervusztok! Hát van 11 a kanadaim, de itt van egy néni, aki nagyon rosszul jár, nem biztos, hogy bejön. This infects water. It was built in the Renaissance time, in the 14th century, and it was still used by the Austrian soldiers in the 18th century, this rainwater. And over there they descended, they went to the Roman. They also had a little town over here. In this little courtyard you can see 4 tombstones from the Turkish period. The particularity of these tombstones is that nothing is written on it because the Muslim religion does not allow to write on the tombstones. And the Turks, or the Muslims, they know after the form of a simple soldier or an important officer, and so on and so forth. Now we are in front of, we are on a balcony, and they just digged it out in 1934. They found first the inferior part of this huge rose window, and then they found this interior, and it was a very important job at that time to rebuild this very old castle. And it has a similitude. If I have told you the story, you can recognize a lot of things due to the good view on Water Town, and it is still possible to take one of the story. These steps as well. From up there we have a panoramic view. I'm going to wait for you down. Okay? Closed? No, it is open.
What's in there?
It's art gallery.
Oh,
They have no window. So they have exhibitions. They change all the time.
There's a step there. Saint Stephen.
Yeah. Take it to the statue park. I would just try to remember the shield and Franz Liszt down there. The set of Franz Liszt is also from the same period, more or less, communism, and they also used very strange materials like concrete for the statue, but the other artists gave back the personality of the man. Before we could statue, I often ask myself, there is a limit between art and not art.